Now it's time to see who has a heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your fight. Now go out there and take it.
Hey, you guys, don't do me anything. My girlfriend put a curse on my glove.
I'll take the X off the glove. Give me the glove.
Dude, you got to cut the head off a live rooster.
Welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill on Highway 72 East in Athens, just off I-65. Don't go away. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is next. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. Daily and Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daily and Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daily and Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
When it comes to the Wi-Fi in your home, are you in control? Manage your Wi-Fi with the ATC Control app. ATC can help you get the best Wi-Fi experience. Prioritize your laptop while you work from home, or prioritize your streaming devices to enjoy your favorite shows. Ready for a better Wi-Fi experience? Visit ATC's website at www.ardmore.net to download the free ATC Control app today. Certain equipment and/or services may be required. ATC is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net.
Hey, this is East Limestone girls basketball coach Jessica Thompson, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Good Saturday morning, and welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, located here at Athens Applebee's on the corner of Highway 72 West and I-65. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. Spring is in the air, and Tim has always done a great job of lining up several good guests today. Soccer-loaded show. Soccer season is just now getting kicked off for a lot of folks, and looking forward to talking to everybody.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be soccer-loaded.
That's okay.
But
you know what?
Since we didn't have a show last week,
that's
we
all
kind of
right.
had to roll over.
Yeah, that's true, too. But that's all right, too. So I'm Todd, the Talent Tomlin, joined here today by producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, and we'll have AP Steadham, our ACC guru. We'll have JC boys soccer coach Jerry Keesee. I think he's going to probably bring in a couple players, hopefully. Clay Freak Daddy Coleman, Huntsville Havoc. Chad Emerson, the business director for the Huntsville City Football Club. We'll have a few ABS signees who signed different scholarships in different sports come up here. And we'll have Matt Smith, Tanner Boyd's head soccer coach, preparing, I guess, for another blue trophy. Tim, probably. I know it seems like, they just reel them in.
Yeah, well, they came away with a county championship anyway. But we'll get into that with the scores later on.
Will. So, big, March Madness, man, it's here upon us. Already some crazy games. This is my favorite time of year, man. You got so much going on. You got March Madness. You got the Masters coming up. You got the beginning of Major League Baseball. And the most important out of all of them, Tim, regardless of what people may or may not think, is this WrestleMania season. Okay, let's just be honest. So, so with all those things going on in the sports world, it's just a fun time, no doubt. No doubt.
Well, our SEC teams are the local favorites. Alabama and Auburn, they kind of struggled there at the beginning.
Yeah, they did. But, I mean, I've always said it, and I'll continue to say it. College basketball, especially the men's college basketball, has more parity in that sport than I believe in any sport, period, professional or amateur. I mean, it's just so much talent out there, and especially now with NIL, and you've got all these kids moving around, and, there was always mid-majors were always, had some success in the NCAA tournament, but now they can even have more because now they can go grab those kids from the Dukes and Alabamas and Tennessees or whoever, Kentucky's of the world that maybe not getting that much playing time, and they want to play. So now they're in a quite not so big school, and so the talent's just kind of spread across the board. You're running into issues with depth. Maybe they're not as deep as a Kentucky or an Auburn or somebody like that. But basketball, if you got a couple of good kids that can play and they stay out of foul trouble and injuries, you can push a really good team, especially in tournament play. All the pressure's on the Auburns and Alabamas and whoever's of the world. They're not on the, Iowa, Dash, whoever, the sub little schools.
Yeah, yeah. And I was watching some of the ESPN stuff going on up here and some of the recaps from, the first round and, a lot of single-digit seeds, lost to double-digit seeds in that first round. Of course, I mean, that always happens, but I don't know. Seemed like, I don't know if it was more this year than usually is.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody say that. It doesn't seem like it's more than usual. There's always going, like you said, especially like 10-7s. I mean, Alabama got all they wanted the other day, for a long time. I mean, and we'll have to talk to AP about that. We can't be giving up 80-plus points to Robert Morris and then expect to beat another good team. So
still hadn't learned to play defense.
Got to play defense. You're just late in the year, and we're still struggling on that end of the court. It's just kind of crazy. ACC's been a real big story. Only 4 teams in the tournament, and only one left, being Duke. The other 3 got put out first round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First time since 1979, there's not going to be more than at least 2 teams from the ACC in the Sweet 16.
Huh.
Since 79.
Well, I'd seen where Clemson had gotten beat, and, they were one of those single-digit seeds.
Oh, well, and you know who beat them? So it's McNeese State. McNeese State beat Clemson. It was 31-13 at halftime. I think those 13 points, they might have said, was the lowest halftime score by one team maybe ever. I don't know if it was ever or however many years. It was a long, long time ago if it ever happened. Maybe when they were still playing on peach baskets or something. But I don't know. But and do you know who McNeese head coach is? Former LSU coach Will Wade.
Okay.
Who is now, looks like next year will be at NC State. As far as I know, he's already told the team and everything. So these players know that their coach is leaving, but yet they were able to go out there and put a smoke. Now, to Clemson's credit, they got down 22, and they came all the way back and cut it to 2.
Yeah.
And, they scared McNeese State after having that big lead, but McNeese State was able to end up closing them out. So
yeah, I was seeing they were just kind of reeling off all the ones that got beat, so I couldn't keep up with who played who. So I did happen to notice that Clemson was one of those whenever you mentioned ACC. So
so ACC's not the power that they were, and a lot of it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Transfer portal, NIL, and all that stuff. You got all these kids that would be a mainstay in ACC. Now they're going to mid-majors and those type schools. They're going to the McNeese States of the world, and now they're ending up getting beat. And I saw a story yesterday talking about that. I don't even know who the analysts were, but they were saying that that the ACC as a whole didn't move quickly enough on the new way of doing business through NIL and transfer portal. and now it's come to bite them on the rear because you got behind the 8 ball. They didn't take advantage of it when it was a thing. They were just relying on the fact they were all blue bloods, and you're going to come to my school because we're there every year, like the UNCs of the world. It was now out.
Yeah, well, it's
big window miss.
Dabo Sweeney. I mean, he was kind of dragging his feet on.
Yeah, he did. He hurt them. He really did. And I think he's finally starting to realize the way of the world now, and he's having to play the game, which is sad all around, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and we can get into some of that with AP. So, with all that said, I'm going to turn it over to Tim with
Scores and more.
Alrighty, on the baseball diamonds yesterday, Calhoun fell twice to Southern Union at home, 11-6 and 20-10. Athens beat Decatur, though. They swept them 13-4 and 13-2. Elkmont shut out ABS 15-0. James Clemens split with Sparkman. The Jets won the first game 5-0, and the Senators came out on top 8-4 in the second game. Lindsay Lane beat Section 10-0. Rogers beat Clements twice, 14-2 and 11-4. West Limestone over Lexington, 18-2, and Lincoln County beat Ardmore 10-0. At the Limestone County Soccer Tournament, Clements girls won that title over West Limestone 5-0, and then Chandler boys had some trouble with East Limestone. They won 1-0. And then elsewhere, the Lindsay Lane JV girls lost to St. John Paul II 5-0. In softball, West Limestone defeated St. John Paul II 15-0. James Clemens barely got by Clemens 7-6, and then they beat Colbert County 2-0. Grissom beat Clements 11-8. It was Elkmont over Section 14-0 and over Holy Spirit 13-2. And then East Limestone lost to Madison Academy 8-0. And first softball rankings came out. Speaking of West Limestone, they were ranked, I think, number 4 in Class 4A. Right off the top of my head, I believe that's right. So let's see. Don't know who we're going to have next week. Still kind of working on that. So, anyway, have no down the road. I'm sure we'll be at some car shows. I think we'll be at the one on the square and some other things too. So,
the school year's gone by fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was thinking earlier this week, back on Thursday, first day of spring, and I'm like, really? This is the first day of spring?
Yeah, no kidding.
We dropped. It came in like a lion too, with all the weather and things, and then the severe weather, and then with those chilly temperatures.
Yeah, not much like spring. Now being joined by the man, Coach Clint Legg.
Can't get in here, man. I've been on the phone with somebody.
I understand.
What's going on?
Not much, buddy. How are you?
It's awesome. What's the topic of conversation?
Just kind of wrapping up scores and more, and talking about congratulations to Clemens girls.
Huge night last night, man. They were very, very, very happy about beating the East, because the East is always in the finals, and I think that was the route to who was going to win it. And I'm not talking down on who they played last night. I'm just saying East is always a perennial powerhouse in soccer with girls, and somehow we got a little lucky and beat them last night.
It's a big deal, man. Yeah, Congratulations. I'm happy for the girls.
They've been ranked in the top 10 just about the whole season.
Yeah. It's amazing, man, how we got a couple of girls sports at Clemens that's doing real good right now. But if you look at why, it's because they work harder.
Yeah.
And our guys are. I hope our boys sports are looking at that, going, man.
Exactly.
Well, what are we doing? And it's a hard-working group. It's a group that gets after it. It's a group that don't complain about hard work. And right now, some of our boys' sports, it's more with the parents, but it's when you want to work hard, it's, man, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? And We're doing it to get better and win, and until it's buy-in by all of them, you're never going to win.
Yeah, I agree.
And we were just talking too, another program you've got a little bit of an interest in. How about that? The West Limestone softball team.
Yeah.
I'm going to bump the brakes, man. Y'all know me. I'm going to say it like it is. Right now, West is in a extremely weak region area in softball. West is really good. I'm not taking nothing away from them. They are. Girls are hitting the ball. The pitching is amazing, which you don't have to play in the field when you can strike everybody out. Nolan Ryan's pitching, you can sit there and watch. Right? So that's what it's become. But also, I know this much: nobody knows, and I used to strive this in football. Who's number one and who is number one in the state right now in softball is Orange Beach. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It's where you are at the end. Mm-hmm. The goal is to be the best you can be at the end. But how do you get there? You get there by working hard, not looking at the paper going, we're number 3 in 4A right now. Who gives a crap? Yeah.
But it's nice to be there, but it's not the end all.
Right, it is, right. Man. Yeah. But like last night, the game's over, third, fourth inning. West beat them like 15-16-0. They played Randolph the night before, 2 nights before, 17-0. And then everybody calls me. That's one of the calls I get. Man, y'all need to start playing somebody that's. Tell me somebody. I mean, I know they would love to do it, man. I mean, Athens would be a great matchup, but you can't play Athens every night.
Nope.
Didn't he beat Bob Jones here?
Yes, sir. But Bob Jones has fell on lean times.
Are they? Okay.
I talked with Kimbrough some, man. I love Kimbrough, and we talked about. I think that the focus now at Bob Jones and James Clemens in girls sports is volleyball and basketball. And I don't mean that to be good in any sport, whether it's I'm talking girls volleyball, basketball, or softball. It's where do the girls put their emphasis? My oldest daughter puts her emphasis on playing travel softball, so she should be better. Some girls play club volleyball. That means you're going to be really good at volleyball. You just don't play the season and quit. Whatever you're putting your goals into working is where you're going to be the best. And like right now, those two schools, that's not their emphasis. And West Limestone right now has a group of girls that I would say 8 of the 9 play travel softball. And now it's all about travel. It's all about getting reps.
Yeah,
you know that, man. Absolutely. You're a baseball guy. It's all about getting the reps, and you don't get enough reps January, February, March to be any good. You better be getting them the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I mean that's true. Reps is so important in anything, but especially particular eye contact sports.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
But I'm not taking nothing away from them. As I said before, the pitching, the hitting is going really well. The competition, they play who is on there. I mean, I'm just saying, Ardmore also is. I mean, I was in the county tournament. I was impressed with Ardmore. I think they'll go a long ways. That their coaching is really good. I mean, they can hit it pretty good. They can field. They can throw. I mean, they got all the makings of having a good team as well. And those are about the only teams, from around here that I've seen. I hadn't seen Athens play, but I know who Athens has. They got some really talented girls, and I know they'll be pretty good. I know Lindsay Lane's got a pretty good team this year, from what I hear. And then there's teams around us, in Clemens, for example, their region's tough. Mars Hill, real good. Rogers, real good. Lauderdale County, really good in softball, too. And it's just, we lucked up on that, but here's where they're not lucky. Number 1 is Orange Beach. The number 1 softball team in the country is Orange Beach.
Oh,
so here's why. They got a travel ball team playing at Orange Beach.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, if I didn't have family and I didn't have friends and all I have here, where else would you rather live for your kid to play softball than Orange Beach, Alabama? Yep. And that's what they're getting girls from everywhere to come in there and play.
All over.
They're really loaded.
Not just the state, but probably outside the state as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. Well, Tim, what do you think?
Can I say one more thing, man?
Man, you can say all
I love the Dodgers. I'm a huge Dodger guy. But, man, I'm also really tickled about the Braves getting my guy back for, like Jay called it, the farewell tour, man. I think Kimball needs to go out as Atlanta Brave. I hate that they had to get rid of him to start with. even though he may be washed up, as some of my buddies say, I think he's still got enough in it to help a little bit.
Yeah, he absolutely will. Yeah, and it's that time of year for sure. Well, all right, we're going to take us a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking to the ACC guru, AP Steadham. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big 1080.
Hear Applebee's Tailgate Talk on your Alexa device by saying, Alexa, open PAS Plus, and hear it in crystal clear quality. Applebee's Tailgate Talk will be right back. P4 Therapy is an outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in northern Alabama and southern Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
First National Bank is a name everyone in the community recognizes. We see it in our schools, in our parks, and in our homes. First National Bank is proud to help make our community great. I am First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Brooklyn Alberton from Clemens High School, and I love to help represent First National Bank in my community. First National Bank, making communities great, member FDIC.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the AHSAA and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Now on a platform near you, the only year-round weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Freak Havoc podcast. News, interviews, and more. Dropping every Thursday, we'll just reek of the Huntsville Havoc. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and listen, follow, and subscribe on your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app and online at reekinhavoc.com.
Hey, this is Dan Clemens boys basketball coach Francis Sullivan, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Todd, the talent Tomlin, alongside producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert and the coach, Clint Legg, joining us. We were talking a little bit off air. We couldn't get a hold of AP, so Tim's going to continue to work on that. He's
calling us right now.
Oh, he's calling us right now. So we are going to have AP here shortly.
You there?
Right here.
There's our man.
Okay.
Good morning,
How
AP.
you doing? Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody?
Man, we're doing good. Probably not as good as you. Well, I assume, are you at home currently?
Yeah, at home. We'll getting ready to go to San Antonio when, a couple weeks here, 10 days or so.
Good for
Whenever
you,
that happens, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Enjoying it so far.
Yeah. You got to rest up for all that big action for sure.
Yes.
So have you watched much of the tournament since it's kicked off Thursday? Or Tuesday?
Yeah, well, it's quite a bit. SEC 8-6, as I recall. Is that right? 8-6, 8 wins, 6 losses.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you'd like to see a little bit more, but like I said, I think the goal that I had in mind was, and this is a low number, 4 teams reached the Sweet 16 out of 14. I don't think that's asking too much.
No.
AP, am I right to say this? When I was watching the other night, the teams I saw lose, Missouri lost. Who else?
Oh, crap. Lost? I mean, Texas.
Texas lost, okay.
Vandy.
Mississippi State.
Georgia. I thought Mississippi State had that game in hand. I don't know. But we were talking.
Well, Missouri did.
Yeah.
They had that game in hand.
But we were watching, and we were talking about this, AP. Who do you like watching, man, as far as watching these tournaments? Tell me some teams
like just some of your favorite teams outside maybe the SEC.
Yeah. outside the SEC teams. Well, I just tell you the SEC team. Like everybody, I think Florida is the most versatile and balanced.
Yeah. I love watching that.
Outside, I tell everybody, look, I do not want to play St. John's because he can beat you with less. He's one of the few coaches, and he has a good team. He's had 30-plus wins now. Brought him all the way back, Rick Pitino. But I would not want to play his team. I just don't like it because I think he can coach his way to a victory, even though you have a better talent on your team.
But with them real quick, if I can interject,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yes. It's okay.
My mind is a fleeting thing. Like I forget crap in a second. But anyway, so I was watching St. John's play the other day, and a stat that just blew up on me was that as a team, they're only shooting like 68% from the free throw line. As a team,
they're not good. Not good. Not good.
So
in
in a close game situation, which they're going to run into down the stretch, man, that makes it a little bit more iffy, you know. But yeah, you're right. I love watching St. John's, and now they're playing Arkansas. So you got the two Italian coaches, and Calipari, I think, has done a wonderful, wonderful job with Arkansas. Yeah. 3 months ago, you would have never thought they would have probably been here, especially when they lost. What's the kid that was so good? Boogie.
Boogie Flan. Yeah, Boogie Flan. Right.
When they lost him, now they got him back. Of course, I don't know about condition and all that, but boy, he played a lot of minutes the other night and played well. So, it's just anybody really could win at this point.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
AP, I love watching Tom Izzo and Tom Izzo's teams. I like watching Cooper Flagg, who I think is one of the best. I'll go ahead and say it. White boys I've seen play in a long time. He is really, really good. But like you said, AP, man, the Florida Gators are awesome, man.
Yeah, they got a good team, and he's he coached at San Francisco, so he could be going back to San Francisco.
Oh, that'd be cool
to play that regional final.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, upset alert, man. I'm not saying Alabama's not going to get it won't be an upset if Alabama loses, man. I'm just going to say, but I'm telling you, man, me and Ty's been talking this, AP. Creighton's got a heck of a ball team. Then they play Auburn tonight, 6-10.
Yeah, Creighton, excellent coach, great coach. We've seen him through the years because he's played Alabama a number of times.
Yeah. And I mean,
beaten them in the tournament, actually.
Creighton's one of those teams I like watch playing because it's basketball. They move the ball. They're smart with it. Defensively, it's more like watching a team back from the late '80s into the early mid '90s. You know what I mean? It's just it's not that they're throwback. It's not like Yale or some of that or Princeton, like those good Princeton teams. But it's just I don't know. I just really enjoy watching Greg McDermott coach basketball team. We got St. Mary's. Alabama has St. Mary's, and they beat Gonzaga in both regular season games this year. Gonzaga ended up winning their conference tournament. But St. Mary's is a good basketball team too, man.
Yeah. You can't sleep on any team in this tournament because it's no longer when you're watching the game, you're saying, "Oh, we have superior athletic ability. We'll just force our way to a win." Yep. All these other teams, they're athletic as well. Because people want to get opportunities, so you only have 5 starting spots. So you have guys who can block shots and rebound. You have guys who can rebound against a Power 5 team, then you have a chance. Yep. A lot of times, and you would see it where they have their big people. They might be 6'10", but they didn't have the athleticism to really get the rebounds against some of these Power 5 players. But not anymore. You see all kind of talent everywhere.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Earlier in the show was how, NIL, transfer portals opened up all those opportunities for these mid-majors and other schools to grab some of these kids that would be starting practically anywhere else. But, if you're sitting on the bench at Duke or Carolina, Auburn, Alabama, wherever it might be, but, you can start at a, Creighton or wherever you're going. That's where you're going to get that playing time. So, it's a lot of parity, athleticism.
And to me, AP Todd, man, it's not a series. It's not a series. It's a one night. Shoot your shot, man. Yep. And anybody's got a chance in those situations, man. Especially
it's just you always say, and I tell people, it's you have to win 6 games, but it's really 2 weekends of winning 2 games to get to the Final Four. That's all it is. Yep. It's not anything more, anything less. you have a weekend tournament. Can we win a couple games and move on? If you can do that, that's get you to the Final Four.
Well, and that's spot on. I was listening a couple weeks ago, just flipping the channels, and I ran up on a show where Coach Krzyzewski was on it. I don't even know who the host was, but anyway, he was talking about that very thing, and he said that's the way they approached it every year. This is a weekend tournament, 2 games. We win 2, move on. Don't look at the big picture. Just look at each individual weekend. That's spot on.
Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry about your bracket. I mean, the other teams, hey, they have to win their games. Don't worry about somebody down the road, because more than likely they may not be there. There'd probably be some type of upset.
AP, shifting gears, man, I watched Alabama Pro Day the other day and saw Milroe run a 4.37. By the way, Todd, he was running in a crooked line. He didn't run a straight line, run a 4.3. Wow. Imagine him doing something like that.
Yeah, really.
But AP, somebody's going to take a shot on this guy.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Early.
Yeah, I mean, I would take a shot at him, because in this day and age, I'm putting in a package near the goal line. Where they have to stop him. He has that athleticism. He's like another running back, and he's big and strong.
Yes, man.
Yes, strong and fast. And you see Lamar Jackson, their style of offense. He runs more than the running backs. But as a starting quarterback, I wouldn't be selecting him for that role. But as a person who could help us win, yes, I would.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's got to remember, though, that's what he is. He's a running quarterback, not a pocket passer.
Well, AP, man, appreciate your time as always. Real quick before we let you go, tell us who you've picked on your bracket to win it all, and then tell everybody where they can find you and follow you.
Oh, yeah. I'm not much on that bracket, I mean, millions of people pick a bracket, and they, nobody can really come up with it. They get their answers from somebody who never watched a game of basketball. Anyway, AP As We See It, it's on my YouTube channel, and we're looking forward to this basketball. As I said, we'll be in San Antonio, so one of these Saturdays you're going to call me, I'll be in San Antonio at the Final Four.
Awesome, man. Well, good deal, brother. Well, have a great week, man, and we'll be checking you out.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. That was AP Steadham, our SEC guru here for Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be joined by JC Boys soccer coach Jerry Keesee. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big 1080.
If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens. Your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. Join us this spring for James Clemens baseball and softball from Play Action Sports. Hear action from the Jets and Lady Jets online at PASnetwork.net, on your PAS Plus app, or on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus. If you miss it, you can also catch up on the online archives and hear select games Sundays at noon on WKAC Radio. James Clemens baseball and softball this season from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC.
Hey, this is Will Lowry, former safety for the University of Alabama, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC Big 1080. Todd, the town of Tomerlin, alongside producer extraordinary Tim Lambert, the coach, Clint Legg, and we're joined now by head JC boys soccer coach Jerry Keesee. Coach, man, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming up here. We'll be joined by some of your players here in a bit, and we'll get them on there and break them down, find out all what they think about Coach and how all the hard work that he's making them do is paying off. So share a little bit of us about your season, how it's going, and what's going on.
Yeah, it's going really well. This is my 5th year at JC,
wow.
And we have just steadily improved every year, especially as a program, just where we were when I took over to where we are now. We have taken a lot of huge steps forward. We've had success, made the playoffs 3 of those 4 years.
That's impressive, yeah.
I've been here. We're having a pretty good season. We had our first area match on Thursday. Unfortunately, it was against number 7 in the nation, Florence.
That's the way to open it up, isn't it?
Yeah, and gave up a couple of early goals, and it was hard for us to dig ourselves out of that hole.
You know what? You just brought up talking about that. I don't think I've ever asked the coach this, because every sport's obviously different. But soccer, goals are, they're harder to come by than, scoring is a lot harder to come by than in some sports. When you find yourself down, maybe 2 or 3 goals relatively even quick, I mean, do you have to change the pace of the game or the approach of it, or do you just stick with what you're because they are so hard to come by. I mean, or you just play kind of straight the way?
It's a situational thing. Sometimes we get scored on or we're scoring the goals because of how we're set up, a tactical thing. So if we're allowing goals because of a tactical deficiency, we make that adjustment. Or maybe it's a personnel matchup that we've not prepared for. We'll make that adjustment. But on Thursday night, it was a penalty kick, so we just had a bad foul. And then one of their players mishit a cross. He was trying to hit a cross, and he hit it in the absolute most perfect way to where it curved up and in and dropped in. He didn't expect it to go in. Nobody expected it to go in. Our keeper didn't expect it to go in. So that's 2 goals there that kind of fluky goals.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it did turn into more of an emotional.
Yeah.
We started not playing with our brains and playing with our hearts, and that doesn't usually work out that way.
That's in any sport, absolutely. When you're pressed like that, those goals are hard to come by. Then you start trying to do things maybe
against a team like Florence, where they are just stacked physically, just such a mismatch on
deep,
the physical.
I'm sure. Yeah,
very big boys, 2 of the fastest players in the state. It's hard to score on them at your best, and when you give up 2 like that hole is a lot more than just 2 goals.
Yeah. Well, you've got one of your players here, Cole Banks. Cole, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So what position you play?
So I'm a center back, but in the past years I've switched from really 4 positions. So I started out as a kind of left wing back, and then I switched to like a CDM sophomore year, and then also a center back last year.
Okay. Do you have a particular favorite out of those positions? Or are you comfortable where you're at now?
I do like center back. I definitely say each position has its rewards, but also comes with certain responsibilities that are different. I definitely liked left wing back because of my ability to use my conditioning, endurance wise. I'd say CDM, you can definitely control the pace. You're a good leader. Good opportunity to demonstrate that leadership. But center back is definitely the most physically demanding, I'd say. Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell some of us, the viewers or the listeners, what are the responsibilities of that position?
Yes, so center back really is like the last line besides the keeper to keep those goals from happening, right? And a big thing is, organizing the back line, making sure everyone is, for me especially, making sure everyone's level-headed, not, getting too angry at each other, and just keeping with the tactics, making sure we're setting the right line.
Okay, well, good deal. So, and you're a junior?
I'm a senior.
Senior?
Yes, sir.
Wow, man, so this is it.
What's your plans next year, man?
So next year I am going to Sanford University.
Awesome.
They have a sports industry program, so I got accepted into that.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
It's cool, man. I love it at Sanford. It's a pretty cool place. And gated. And
great campus.
Nice.
And close enough to home to,
That's
run
right.
up here and get that good Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas and all that good stuff.
That's awesome, dude.
Well, good deal. Well, so, Coach, what's your record?
We are, well, just to make sure I get it right, and I've got it written down for our other guys, too, because our JV and freshmen are having a terrific set of seasons. So varsity, we're 7-4-2. We've scored 30 and allowed 19, so we're plus 11 goal differential. JV is 13-0-3, so undefeated.
Oh, wow.
Scored 59, only allowed 10 goals through 16 matches. And then our freshmen are 8-0-1.
Okay.
And they've scored 35 and only allowed 3.
So a lot of good things coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Coach, where do y'all play y'all's home matches at?
We split between, I'd say probably about 2/3 of our matches end up being on campus on our turf field, and then the other third are at Madison City Stadium.
Is that turf too, guys? Both of them are?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a stupid question. Difference in playing on grass fields and turf fields?
The preference is almost always grass. One of the biggest things is, and now in football, obviously, you do have the variation. You can have discrepancies between different schools' fields, but the sizes are always the same. It's always the exact same length and width. In soccer, it's different because you have a maximum allowance and a minimum allowance for length and width. So you can have grass, and it's a great grass field, and we love grass. We prefer to play on grass. It's a more natural field.
Yeah. That's the way it was meant to be played.
But if a grass field is in the middle of a turf field, or if a grass field is in the middle of like a track or something like that, and we see the same with turf, but it's a more narrow, small field. We don't like that. We like to play on big fields.
I got you.
And so then you go to Florence where they're all grass, but they have the maximum width field that you can have that the state allows.
Right.
So it's different. So sometimes for us it's less about the surface of the field and more about the size of the field. But to actually answer the question, we prefer grass because it is a more natural field. It's a more natural bounce. On turf, the ball will skip more.
Yeah.
And so it's a faster pace, which we like the faster pace, but we're a very skilled technical team, so we actually kind of like that grass field. It's just more natural. And we practice more on our grass field than we do our turf field. So
have y'all got the opportunity to play yet over there at the stadium where the pro soccer team is?
We have not yet.
Maybe soon y'all will. I mean, it sounds like you're good enough to play over there.
They've only hosted a couple of high school matches, and that's usually just when they're inviting teams. Last year was the first year they did an invitational. I don't know if they did one this year.
I got you. Pretty nice when I go by. I've never been in there, but I was there when it was Joe Davis.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Well, Coach, talking about the size of the fields and stuff, as a player, does it kind of mess with y'all a little bit when you're when you go from place to place, and now you're playing on the a longer, wider, whatever field now, and then the next game might be on turf on a smaller field? I mean, is it hard to adjust to anything?
I definitely say it's difficult. Like Coach was saying, we have a grass and a turf field, but I'd say the biggest difference is the way that the ball moves. You definitely have to use more pressure when you're passing on grass fields, so it's hard to, playing on turf fields, playing balls that normally won't travel on grasses far with that. But also I've noticed when we are on grass fields for games, it's harder to adjust at the start of games to those given balls. Like through balls may not work as well on certain fields. Maybe just, like Coach was saying, narrow fields. Certain schools have fields that are hard to adjust to because we'd like to use that width. And that's definitely a difficult test that we've had to overcome.
I bet, yeah.
I can remember whenever I played basketball at the old ABS gym, our court was bigger than most high school courts, and especially in junior high. Of course, we were used to playing on that bigger court, and then, some other junior high would come in there and play, and they'd just be worn out by the end of the game trying to keep on that bigger court.
That's kind of why I asked that, because what I had in my mind, Tim actually brought up, when I was growing up, we would play, and Clint, Coach Legg remembers this, Johnson and
Piney Chapel?
Piney. When we would go play basketball there, man, our courts were so tiny, like you could almost shoot from half court, and it'd be like, seem like what a three-pointer might be now. I mean, there was no way they were 90 feet. Yeah. No way. And it did. It changed the way that you play, or the way you felt. But so what are you looking forward to coming up towards the end of the season, Cole?
Yeah, so I think over the beach trip that we took, that definitely built up our team chemistry as a whole. So I'm looking forward to just keeping that team bond up.
And stuff,
Yes, sir. But also just keep pushing through. We went on a very, I'd say, a long undefeated streak. 7 wins and then 2 draws.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Just keep momentum going, even if we have a few rough outcomes.
Yeah.
Just keep it going.
Man, who's your favorite team to beat?
Favorite team? Oof.
Wouldn't be the other school, would it be?
The other school. What comes to my mind is our freshman year, the Bob Jones JC game. That'll go down for me as like probably my most favorite memory from JC. Just playing at our home turf. Varsity team won 4-1. That was definitely a pretty big thing. But any area game is just great to win because that'll help our playoff chances.
Awesome.
Yeah. So talking about playoffs, so Coach, how many? So are there? I would assume anyway. Are there tons of 7A schools playing soccer, or is it like some other sports where, like the classifications, have limited teams? Y'all are pretty stacked, right?
Yeah. Well, there's 36, I believe.
Okay.
7A. 2 of them got bumped up this year in reclassification because of private, and the way that works out for the playoffs is almost every area is 4 teams. You play everybody twice, home and away. So we're allowed 27 matches, but only 6 of them matter.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And so if you win those 6, it doesn't matter what you did for the rest of the season, or if you lose those 6. So the top 2 teams advance out of those 4. Sounds easy, but we've got the number 7 team.
You have to say when you guys
and then down the road. Bob Jones, I think, is 10th in the state. So, we've got 2 of the top 5 teams in the state, or 2 of the top 10 in our area, and we got to get past both of them if we want to advance. It's
no pressure.
Yeah, it's a tough proposition. Then we're matched up with Huntsville and Grissom and Sparkman and Albertville, their area, and if you want to get through, if you want to make it to the finals, you got to get through everybody in the north, which includes Oak Mountain, which is number 1 in the nation.
Jeez.
So just if we make it to the Final Four, it's we're almost certainly matched up against one of the best teams in the country, and it's
not just the state. The country.
It's a lot like taking your grandma to prom. You're happy to be there. You just wish it was with someone else.
That's
so
awesome.
I kind of hate that alignment, but you got to beat the best if you want to be the best.
That's true too. That's true too. Winning's great, but man, when you know that you've beaten those teams to get there to win it, man, the satisfaction's even better without a doubt. How many games y'all have left on regular season?
Couldn't tell you the exact number, but we probably have about 10 left.
Oh, okay.
We still have 5 area matches. We've got Tuesday is our next match. We're at Madison Academy, which for me is a kind of a homecoming. That's where I first coached high school soccer in the state of Alabama. So coach their girls and have a great relationship with their admin, with the boys coach, with Fred. So looking forward to having our guys back there. It'll be my first time coaching there since leaving.
That's awesome.
So excited about that. Yeah. And we've got Scottsboro after we have Austin on Thursday. So Austin's our next area match. So Madison Academy, Austin, Scottsboro next week.
I assume you played growing up?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So
I grew up in Arkansas. So I played in a small town in central Arkansas. And earlier heard y'all talking about my Razorbacks.
Yeah.
So enjoyed hearing that.
I think they got a chance today.
I do too. I think they've got a good chance. While we were really struggling on Thursday night at Florence, I checked the score of the Razorback game because it was going on at the same time, and
of course, it always works out that way.
Well, we're down 1-5 with like 15 minutes left. I'm gonna check the score. Like,
nothing wrong with
come on, we're kind of struggling, so that helped me. That cheered me up a little bit. But yeah, so we've got a decent number of matches left. We still have Auburn. They're coming to us, and they lost in the state championship last year. So we've got another really great team coming up.
That's awesome. You're playing those teams. That's what prepares you for as you get closer to the playoffs and all that. Once you've seen those kind of teams, you know that you can compete with them and beat them. And makes it easier. So now we got a few more.
Got some latecomers here.
Late guys.
A couple of guys
that
y'all
made it.
Went to the wrong Applebee's.
Oh, okay. There you go. One of y'all grab the headphones and then.
Yeah, we'll have to pass that other one around.
So, all right, bud, go ahead and introduce yourself. And position and grade and all that good stuff.
Okay, I'm EJ Biggers. I'm a junior and I play center mid for James Clemens High School.
Okay.
All right, I'm Andrew Bendixson. I'm a center back. I'm a senior, also for James Clemens.
Okay, good deal. So senior.
Junior.
All right, so you got one more year this to come
Yes,
back.
sir.
So congratulations on a good year so far. They've shared with us, the season up to this point. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, we had a kind of a rough start. We started off 0-3, but then after that, I mean, I think we were on like a 6-7 game win streak.
Coach said 7, a couple of draws in there, so that's a pretty good run, without a doubt. Y'all should be proud of that.
But we're definitely looking better. I think a lot of that is thanks to like our beach trip. We usually go there, and I mean, like after that, we just always play like a different team. So that's always like the highlight of the season.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cole mentioned that trip, and Coach, going back to that, that's kind of one of those things where not can make or break you per se, but Cole, you mentioned that you felt like it brought all y'all even closer together. Camaraderie was tighter and all that. But it could go the other way, Coach. Right? I mean, y'all could get down there in small quarters and be upset over somebody, whatever, and then next thing you know, the trip all the way back home is not so much fun. And so anyway, hats off to all three of y'all and the whole entire team for bonding like that. Those kind of trips are not just to go down there and win, right? But to build those relationships. So it does. It makes the rest of the season go by good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Good deal.
All right, so I think earlier in the season we kind of started off. We had a kind of drop in confidence after those first few games, and I think when we started to get a few games where against teams that we don't always beat, where we tied Grissom and Sparkman, and sometimes we'll lose to them. We lost to them last year, and we tied them. We should have won those games by the performance that we had, and I think we started to get confidence there. And then when I think you get confidence, and we got those wins, and then I think the next step was that chemistry to get the team to that next level. And I think obviously we just had a pretty rough game in area, but I think it's that kind of team bonding that's going to get us through that. It's going to get us to be able to recover from that, because I think sometimes in games when we score a goal and we get one right back, then that's important. But I think also when we lose a game, we got to be able to bounce right back in that kind of broader sense too.
Yeah, you don't have much time to piddle. You got to be able to stay together and keep on. You've got several more games left. Coach said about 10 or so plus the playoffs. So yeah, you got to stay together. What are y'all looking forward to for the rest of the year? Just winning?
Yeah, I mean, it's our senior year, and so I think we got to put everything on the line. I mean, I don't have I'm not going to play in college, so this is it for competitive for me. And so I think just being able to go out there and do what show what I can do, and this is it. So I'm just looking forward to ending out the season strong and just being able to have that opportunity. I'm glad that I'm here. So.
Yeah. What are your plans for next year as far as, do you have college plans? Or what?
I'm planning on going to Auburn, and I'll probably do some intramural or stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you got to play intramurals.
So,
they'll offer it.
I'll be going into Auburn computer science. It's going to be
awesome.
my major. So
you really need to think about that, dude, before you decide to go down there to school.
We're obviously
just joking.
Yeah, I see.
Alabama.
Roll Tide.
We're joking. Auburn's a very good school other than athletics. That's just what Alabama.
That's awesome.
Say. No, it's a great school, and you'll enjoy it. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, they do they still? Coach Legg would probably know this more so than maybe even you, but do they still have the off-campus trailer parks for all the students?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you even familiar with that? You even know about that?
I'm not.
Hold on, dude. I know what y'all are thinking, but the trailer parks in Auburn is very, very, very nice.
Yes.
I mean, my friend's daughter's down there in pharmacy school. That's where they live, and it's very nice. And those go for a lot of money when you decide to leave. You ain't going to lose money on buying one and selling one.
Yeah, that's the way it kind of works. They rotate them out through the years. Anyway, I don't know. I always went down there for friends, went to stay with them sometimes, and I was like, this is kind of cool actually. But so now first year, do you have to stay on campus?
No, you don't have to stay on campus. I'm not going to stay on campus. I'm planning on staying on an apartment just off of campus.
Good for you. Well, all right. Well, fellas, man, Coach, thank y'all so much for joining us.
Good luck to you guys, man.
We'll be rooting for y'all. Obviously, y'all got some tough games ahead, no doubt, but y'all can do it. For y'all two seniors, congratulations, and congratulations moving forward to your college. You got another year coming back, so go ahead and help these seniors go out on a winning note.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
That was head coach, boys soccer coach Gary Keesee. Some of his players. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKC, the Big 1080.
While others have come and gone, the Lions Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lions Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lions Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC.
This is Shelby Davis, head football coach at West Limestone High School, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
When you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show.
So you're a control freak?
It's just a freak show anyway.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big 1080. Todd the Talent Tomlin, alongside producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, the coach Clint Legg. Now joined by the man, Freak Daddy himself, Clay Coleman. How you doing, Clay?
Hey, doing good, guys. Out here enjoying some sunshine today. It's a beautiful day today. So
yeah, it is, man.
I'm over. We'll watch some UAH baseball today. I haven't had a chance to watch them so much, so I'm gonna check them out today.
Good deal. Go ahead. Oh, Tim has something to say.
Well, I was going to say. So we're not going to have Peter Pan jerseys anymore.
Yeah, I think they said last night Peter Pan and SpongeBob don't do very well on the ice. Yeah, last night was just, I don't know. I try not to comment too much on it because you don't want to know what's going on, but they just were definitely 100% off. Now, their goalie last night was very good, but it was just, I think, all around. I think they were kind of bullying us a little bit and kind of got in our heads and just really couldn't do anything. Only had the 26 shots on goal, and it just was not a good night. I hope hopefully tonight it'll be different. Get the same team again, but now it's kind of everybody talks about Peoria and says, well, Peoria always beats Quad City, only plays Quad City, and that's why they're where they are. And I mean, they showed us last night where they played like the first place team last night. So,
well, and then, I mean, they had 34 shots on goal. Obviously, we stopped 31, which wasn't enough. But 34 shots on goal is a lot, or it seemed to me a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were just, I mean, I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what it was, but we just were not. They looked faster. They looked, definitely like they wanted it more. And even when we got down, we got down. They scored that one goal in the second, and that was fine. But then when they got the 2 other goals pretty pretty quick, it was kind of like we just didn't even try anymore. And it was kind of like crowd left, and the energy was completely gone.
Yeah, it sucked it right out of the building.
Yeah, absolutely.
So currently the Havocs, they've clinched a spot. Right now they're in second, but in 4 games left, if I'm not mistaken. And so it looks like there could be maybe a little bit of movement for somebody, but are we kind of dead set on second, you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think we're dead set on second, and and like I said, and really honestly, if as long as we don't drop out of fourth, which is not going to happen, then we get the home ice. So it doesn't, and really right now with a lot of the teams playing them, I don't think in the bottom 4 there's any team that you could say, hey, I want this team more than I want this one. I mean, because they're, like we said before, sometimes those playoff rosters end up being a different team than what they were playing the regular season because they get some of the call-ups back and things like that. So you never know what you're going to get. So it's one of those things where it's like you just got to play hockey and you got to go after it. That's about the only thing you can do different.
Yeah. One nice thing is the last 4 games are at home, and then of course you get a host, so at least they don't have the wear and tear of the bus rides and all that stuff having to go on the road.
Yeah, and we've had some injuries. Most of the time, I can't go into detail. I don't know if they've said online or whatever, but usually don't go into detail about injuries. But doesn't look like we're going to get Cole Reginato back, which that's a big hit as far as that goes. And that's a tough loss. Injury is always something that it's part of the game, but it could change the trajectory. And he's one of those guys on at least on the ice when you are getting kind of bullied or pushed around, he's somebody that'll regulate that. And when you don't have that, then that makes it a little difficult too. So it makes a difference. I tell you what, if y'all ever want to watch a really cool video, go online. There's a show called The Ice Guardians, and it's all about the enforcers.
Oh, cool.
And if you like watching that, granted, it's a little bit more old school than before, but they actually, it's kind of interesting because they talked about, everybody says, how great, the big talk right now with Ovechkin getting ready to, hit Wayne Gretzky, but they talk about how the fact that one of the reasons that Gretzky was so good because he had McSorley and the other, I can't think the other enforcer, but they said, Gretzky would have 10 feet. Nobody would even get close to him because they're afraid if anybody got even near him, they're going to get killed.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good. If you want to watch one and you want to find out something about hockey, and I mean that enforcer role is not dead, but it's nowhere near the same. But it was really interesting because they talked about like someone like Sidney Crosby and even McDavid, the ones now. They don't have the same protection because they're getting concussions and they're getting all this stuff because nobody's there, which it's funny. They talk about, some of the enforcers that were on other teams because it would happen that, somebody take a lick and put a lick on Gretzky. Well, they may not have been the fighter. So then they'd have to fight McSorley and they would say, look, here's the deal. If I have to fight him, I'm going to kick your butt. Off the ice.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's going to get real. So, but it's called the Ice Guard. It's a really good one. But yeah, I think that's not having a Cole Reginato kind of will hurt a little bit because you won't be able to regulate some of that physical bully ball kind of thing that looks like it's happening.
Yep, and it's changed a lot. Like you said, over the years, it's not near as intense. You just don't see that part of the game. I guess they got a little PC. The NHL got a little PC with it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and then the funny thing is that, and then that Ice Guardians video talks about it where they, they were worried about the concussions. Yeah. Well, the concussions weren't coming from the fighting. They're coming from the fact that these guys can skate faster.
Yeah.
The boards and stuff are harder. And so the concussions come from the check in the wall or the hard check because they're going so fast. It wasn't the fighting, but, the fighting is going to be the obvious one. You go, we can stop that or whatever. But, yeah, it's like I said, I would highly recommend if somebody wants to just know more about like old school hockey versus current hockey and see the difference. That's an incredible documentary to check out.
Check it out.
And that reminds me, talking to some of these guys on the Freak and Havoc podcast, some of these older players, especially when the Channel Cats guys.
Yeah, oh
yeah. Some of them talked about other teams suddenly developing what they called the Huntsville flu whenever the Channel Cats would come to town.
Oh, 100%. I tell you, that's one. I don't know if you guys have you had Goose on yet? Are y'all show?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's one where literally Mike DeGersh, I had watched people And like literally when he'd stay off the ice, but when he came on the ice, it was literally the equivalent of like getting in trouble with your mom and dad. You literally go into you're running as fast as you can to get away from it.
Well, what,
because he was a monster.
I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. He played for the Channel Cats. Todd
Doherty.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Man,
all those guys. If you go into Hockey DB and look back some of those Channel Cats, you look at it and you say, what kind? Because it would be like, I think Goose one year had like, he was leading the team in points and had like 60 or 70, like 80 assists, like 60 goals and like 390 penalties. I mean, it was just unbelievable. You're like, good God, what are you? You know, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember this, but back whatever year it was, the Channel Cats were playing an away game somewhere, and Todd went up in the stands and fought fans. Do you remember that? He got suspended. And
I remember that.
Oh my!
That's the one. Is that the one when they were playing? I think it was the Knights, because that was the one that always made the highlight, like blooper videos and stuff like that. Because actually, a little bit of history, if you ever want to have someone to talk about it, Rex Reynolds at the time was just a police officer. He wasn't now he's a state representative, but he was with the Huntsville Police, and he had to like almost fight the coach of the opposing team.
Wow.
That was a bad. Those guys. I mean, it was a different breed. Like I remember when I first got here, I knew nothing about hockey at all.
Yeah.
And I was, I didn't have kids and stuff like that, and I would go out and party with those guys. And there was one night that I was there, and I just tried to be, protective of the Havoc and everything. And we were in a bar, and there was a bunch of Marines that were, it was kind of got into the testosterone contest or whatever between who's tougher, a Marine or a Channel Cat or a hockey player. And I'm like, guys, y'all don't need to fight. Y'all are gonna. Those guys are Marines, and they're like, don't worry, we're fine. And they beat the hell out of these Marines, and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be the worst press ever. Hockey team beats up military. Yeah. But it was like they were monsters. I mean, they were just unbelievable, and they loved it.
They loved it.
They'd beat the crap out of somebody, and then they'd hug them and go buy them a beer afterwards. You're like, what the heck just happened?
Just thrived on that stuff.
Right.
But good old days.
And I was talking I talked to Scott Harf earlier this week for this week's episode, and he was talking about his rookie year. They were playing the Mississippi River Kings. And I was asking him about a fight, and he said Sam Kanata had told him to go after. He kind of had trouble with this guy in an earlier game, and Sam Kanata told him, said, "Well, go after him," And so they, came back to town the next couple of weeks, and so they went after it, and didn't last long. Scott the guy took it was like the other guy had about five punches, and Scott went to the ice. I think it looked like he kind of slipped because I watched the video, but he said no, it didn't go very well for him. And so he comes back to the bench, and Sam says, "What are you doing? I mean, that guy's tough. He fights a lot." He said, "You told me to."
Yeah, you told me to.
Just 2 weeks ago. And Sam was like, awesome. "Yeah, I shouldn't have said that."
Oh man. Well, and I got to go back and correct. Go ahead.
Okay, and Sam's the guy where literally I went up to him one time and I said, "Are you just going to go ahead and have the doctor give you stitches now before you get out on the ice, or what's going to happen?" Because he'd always get stitches every game.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I got to go back and correct myself real quick. Actually, that fight, which Todd did play for the Channel Cats, I think towards the end of his career, but that fight was actually when he was playing with the Huntsville Blast.
Okay, gotcha.
It was the Blast. So if anybody if they were Googling it, just type in ESPN Huntsville Blast Todd Doherty or something. Anyway, that is.
Yeah, Todd's got it. And Todd's got it. He ended up coaching with Gibby with the Havoc, but then Todd's got. I can't remember how old she is, but he's got a daughter that's like a standout hockey player. I can't remember. Yeah, she plays now. Yeah, so good stuff. But no, yeah, they were a different breed back then for sure. No, but I think everything's different these days. But yeah, they were awesome.
So tonight, see, we got Peoria again, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peoria again.
Yeah, Peoria again. And it's wrestling night.
Yeah, it's New South Pro Wrestling. So for those.
Yeah, so they'll have in the arena right in the front, they'll have a wrestling ring set up and all that. And like I said, it is sold out, so they'll be sellout number 43. So
unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
But it's crazy. But hopefully they can get a little bit going more on the ice. I mean, I think we were a little hesitant last night. You know, usually a game 2 where you don't have to play tomorrow. They may, you know, give a little bit more tonight. I hope so, just to at least stand some ground with them, and it really would have been a good chance to get first place. But it's going to be harder, especially if they win again tonight and go up. They'll be up by like 4 or 6 points. It'll be tough to get first. Yeah.
Well, Clay, buddy, have a great night tonight. Of course, we'll be ready for the
guys.
Havoc, and we'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, see y'all. Take care.
Go Wildcats. I'll throw you.
There we go. Absolutely.
All right.
There you go. Awesome. See you guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That was Clay Coleman, our Havoc hookup. We're going to take a quick break. When we do, we'll be joined by some of the Athens Bible School signees moving away from here and moving on to college. We'll be joining them. So you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big 1080.
When it comes to the Wi-Fi in your home, are you in control? Manage your Wi-Fi with the ATC Control app. ATC can help you get the best Wi-Fi experience. Prioritize your laptop while you work from home, or prioritize your streaming devices to enjoy your favorite shows. Ready for a better Wi-Fi experience? Visit ATC's website at www.ardmore.net to download the free ATC Control app today. Certain equipment and/or services may be required. ATC is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
What is community? I'm a First National Bank Student Advisory Board member, and I am alone from Tanner High School. And to me, community is supporting those who connect us. First National Bank proudly supports our neighbors, businesses, schools, and organizations that make Limestone County a great place to live and work. First National Bank, making communities great. Member FDIC.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action Sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens sports, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net.
Hi, y'all. This is former Rams cheerleader Jennifer Cobb, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big 1080. Todd the Talent Tomerlin, alongside producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, the coach Clint Legg, and we're joined now by some future, very close to future, Athens Bible School graduates who are all moving on to play various sports at different colleges. We've got AJ Bradford, and we've got Addie and Jenna Dobbs. Thank y'all for joining us, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Jen, we'll start with the ladies, since, you know, women first. And Jenna, we'll start with you. So to let people know, obviously they have the same last name, and they're twins. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing and where you're going to be doing it.
Yes, me and Addie are headed to Central Alabama on a tennis scholarship. We started playing in the 8th grade, and the first couple years we decided to take it serious. We started taking lessons, and we really just became the ABS team. We became number 1 and 2 early on. We had a bunch of seniors graduate, so the team kind of fell to us in our class. So we took lessons and got to where we are today.
That's awesome. Now, do y'all play doubles together?
Yes.
Okay, so that's ganging up on other people.
Yes.
You know, it's nothing like having that twin telepathic whatever to be able to team up on another.
Go East Limestone there, Ty. There you go, buddy.
Well, I mean, and I barely graduated. It was 40-something years ago. Do y'all prefer singles?
Doubles.
Over doubles? You do
Probably
prefer doubles?
I like doubles better.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Okay. What got y'all in the game of tennis?
Just our school. They had so many seniors graduating. We didn't know if we'd have a team the next year. So we were encouraged, and a couple of the girls in our class decided to just might as well try it.
That is awesome.
So we went to a practice, and we all fell in love
with it, and now it's turned into?
Yes.
So where do y'all play y'all's matches at Bible school?
Swan Creek. It's where the old, Athens is.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. How many girls are currently on the team?
For the varsity team, we have 6, and then we have JV, and we have 7 or 8.
Oh,
we have
wow.
a bunch
That's
of
awesome.
young ones.
That is good.
Yeah, that's great.
Because every time I've ever heard of high school tennis was when I was at Athens. Well, they had tennis at Athens. Coach Hendricks.
Yeah.
That's good.
He was also
That's
the basketball coach. So,
that's good stuff, y'all.
But that's great stuff, no doubt. So, AJ?
Yes, sir.
You're going to where and for what?
Calhoun for golf.
Awesome.
Mhm.
What got you into golf?
Well, my mom's side of the family really just brought me up with it. When I was about 5, I started swinging and just played for fun until about 7th or 8th grade and kind of got serious with it and started practicing a lot on my own and playing in different tournaments all around, close and a few in other states and some pretty big tournaments and just have fell in love with it over the past few years.
What I like about both these sports is that it's a team, right? I mean, you're playing on a team, but it's individualized, right? It's all about you and how y'all perform
Yes, sir.
against, your opponent. And so I like the team aspect of it, but at the same time, the individuality of it, being able to rely on yourself, right, to win or lose. So, I mean, are y'all drawn towards that too? Can't get mad at your teammate because they're not out there, on the course or the court,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, who's the coach at Calhoun right now? I don't even remember.
It's Richard Morgan. He's been there, I think, 7 or 8 years, he said.
Okay.
Something like that.
And who will y'all be playing for, girls?
Justin McQueen.
Okay. Now, do you know how long the Central Alabama's had a tennis program? Has it been around a while that you know of?
Yes. But Justin McQueen just took over the team 2 years ago, I think. So he's rebuilding the team as he goes.
Okay. Where is this at? Where is Central Alabama? Where is that?
It's in Prattville, Alabama.
Okay. So we all get to play those Robert Trent Jones coaches down there in Prattville, Alabama? The really nice ones. Man, my bad.
Yeah, well, no.
I'm confused. So sorry. Man, I know those.
Yeah, he will.
He will. If they play them, man, those are awesome courses at golf.
Are Central and Calhoun in the same?
Yeah, they'll play against each other.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, you'll get to go down there to Prattville and play on those Robert Trent coaches.
Here's my question. They said they were 1 and 2. Who's 1? Who's 2? Y'all swap that up?
I'm 2.
I got you.
She's been number 1 since the 8th grade when we started.
Wow, so you never could just quiet.
So which one was born first?
I was.
Oh, wow. So little sis, more or less.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask y'all this question. How long have y'all been at Athens Bible School your whole education? All right, let me ask you this. How long has the new school been out there in front of Athens? How long has that been there?
Our first year was 7th grade.
7th grade.
So it's been there for a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Like it a lot better there, or you miss the old place?
I miss the old place, but it's a lot nicer.
I got you.
Yeah.
The one thing that I always had questions for you guys, and now y'all drive and know, is there a lot of chaos there with Athens in the mornings and y'all, or no?
It's not too bad.
Okay. And I always wondered, why didn't they sit it back a little bit? Because it looks like you could walk 5 steps and be right there on 31.
Yeah.
But, man, it sure is nice. So, man,
don't they stagger y'all's times or something is to keep that the traffic levels down?
I think Athens starts maybe 20 minutes behind us or something
I thought
that.
Yeah, I thought they staggered it or something just to keep all that.
Boy, it sure is nice there, though, man.
Yeah,
but I miss that old – Tim was talking about it earlier. To me, man, there's legends and sports, but the Bible school gym – at that old place, I can still smell it and walking in there. It was awesome, man. I miss that. I didn't have nothing to do with the Bible school, but broke your heart to see them tear it down.
Yeah, did mine.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of summers in there playing in that gym, man, and I just loved it. But so, do any of y'all play other sports, or you just golf and tennis?
I play basketball, and I played baseball up until the 10th grade.
Okay.
So.
We played volleyball up until the 10th grade.
Okay. But both those sports that y'all play are so... It takes so much practice. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to play other sports because if you don't get, like Coach Legg was talking earlier about just getting reps, and it's and both of these are eye contact sports. And that's why I was saying, like, any sport you're playing, like baseball, golf, tennis, whatever, where you have to have softball, the more you play, you get better. And so what do you feel like are your strengths on the court? Jenna?
Very competitive. I don't like to lose, and like I'll just get out there and show no mercy. Like anybody we play, like just ready to win.
I love it.
Awesome.
Y'all can see her. She's
That's
just a little dainty thing, and she's like, "I'll cut
That's
your
awesome.
throat." Well, what's like as far as the athleticism part of it? Forehand, backhand, serve. Like you have anything better than the other?
Probably my forehand, but I did take on a one-handed backhand, which is different than most people. But I love it.
I never could. I could hit a slice, but not just a regular backhand. It's hard, isn't it? Hard to learn. Addie, what about you? What are your strengths you feel like on the court?
I think serving and then being at the net and volleying and stuff.
Yeah, that's always tough too, man.
Yeah.
Get her up on that net. AJ, off the tee, around the greens.
I've always been able to hit the ball really far. It's just the fact of hitting it straight. But,
we all suffer with that.
That's been my issue the whole time I'm trying to play golf.
I mean, one day you can be hitting it long and straight, and the next day it just falls apart.
Isn't it crazy? So. But it goes back to those reps, right? Going to the driving range, playing wherever, you know. Like when you play around here, do you have a particular, I guess like better word, favorite course, like Canebrake or
Canebrake or Burning Tree, right in Priceville or right past Decatur.
And do y'all play y'all's matches at Canebrake for school? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, would y'all be the first tennis players to get scholarships from ABS?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's
girls.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's special.
My daughter played for Mr. Klein too when she was in school there.
As far as that goes, I mean, has there been anybody ahead of you getting
for golf? Yeah, Luke Davis last year.
I forgot about it. Yeah, we had him on the show.
That's right.
Time flies. Okay.
And the bottom line is, Todd, you want to play golf when you have to play basketball for Rusty Brand.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you don't want to play for him too long.
Or Rusty.
That's awesome.
We're teasing.
Let me ask you this, girls. When do y'all watch, I know it's on TV a lot, so do y'all watch a lot of tennis on TV?
Yes.
Who do y'all like watching play?
I mean, any of the top players like Sabalenka, Madison Keys, and then like Djokovic, Alcaraz, all of them.
I love Djokovic. But I love, and I even tell people, like, if you want to not learn the game, but if you want to learn more about it, I guess, watch women's tennis.
Yeah.
Because y'all's rallies are longer. The shot, you learn shot selection. The pace that the women hit the ball out now is crazy.
It is.
Crazy. Like, back when I was growing up, Chris Everett, Martina Larbatolo, Steffi Graf, those were the, right? And, you're playing with wooden rackets, kind of going into the aluminum rackets, then finally graphite. Now I don't know what y'all are playing with, probably some sort of titanium, whatever. But, so just from the technology standpoint, that's part of it. But still, for the athletes to keep up with the technology, like what kind of rackets do y'all use? Yonics. And they're made out of what? Graphite, probably.
Probably.
Okay. What kind of clubs do you get, AJ?
I use TaylorMade, Titleist. I use an Odyssey putter, Titleist irons, Titleist wedge, and a ping driver and 3-wood.
Okay.
So just kind of all of them.
I was a ping and TaylorMade guy. So, I mean, I couldn't hit them with crud, but that's what I was. What are y'all excited about as far as getting into college? So AJ, we'll start you. Do you have any plans as far as what kind of degree, or
no,
you don't have to decide right now?
Not yet, but I just enjoyed how close Calhoun is to my house, and I know a lot of people on the team and a lot of people that go to school there. That the people on my future teammates, I've played in a lot of tournaments with before, and I really like that because they're really nice guys, and just knowing them kind of brought it easier to me.
Yeah. Addie, what about you? Do you have any plans as far as a major? Or
I'm probably going to major in elementary education.
Awesome. Good for you. There you go. There's your man right there. He's the principal of Clemens, so he'll hook you up with a job in about 4 years. Jenna, what about you? Do you have any?
I think a physical therapy assistant.
Yeah. Well, right now, both of those jobs are readily available, right? Like, you won't have any problem once y'all graduate. So those are good fields to go in, no doubt. And you're helping others, so that's awesome. I always thought I wanted to be an elementary school teacher, but unfortunately I can't add. So you can't teach 4 plus 4. You can't teach it if you can't do it. So. Well, listen, y'all, congratulations. We really appreciate y'all coming up here. We're proud of y'all, excited for y'all. We know you're going to do big things once you're down there, and we'll have to keep up with the tennis world. Who knows? Y'all might not even get out of Central Alabama before you're on the pro circuit, and then you'll be playing on the cornhole tour before you know it, and then you'll be hitting the balls at the PGA. So,
yes, sir.
All right, that's what we're going to be looking forward. So, anyway, that was A.J. Bradford, golf scholarship to Calhoun, Addie and Jenna Dobbs. They're going to be playing tennis at Central Alabama. We're proud of y'all. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank y'all for joining us. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big Ten.
P4 Therapy is an outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in northern Alabama and southern Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Now that you've got that new place on the water, BP Riverworks can finish the picture with a boathouse, dock, or seawall. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks, licensed and insured, 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097.
For screen printing, sign printing, banners, logo design, and more, look no further than That Shirt Printing Place. Located at 709 North Jefferson Street in Athens. Call 256-444-1827. That Shirt Printing Place. Visit them online at thatshirtprintingplacellc.com. Look for them on Facebook too. That Shirt Printing Place. 256-444-1927. That Shirt Printing Place.
Now on a platform near you, the only year-round weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Reekin' Havoc podcast. News, interviews, and more. Dropping every Thursday, we'll just reek of the Huntsville Havoc. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and listen, follow, and subscribe on your favorite platform via the PAS Plus app and online at ReekinHavoc.com.
Hey, this is Clemens High School head coach Brick Pugh. You're listening to Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big 1080. Todd, the talent Tomlin, alongside producer extraordinary Tim Lambert, the coach Clint Legg, and being joined by the managing director of business operations for the Huntsville City Football Club, Chad Emerson. Chad, man, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
I think this is the third straight year, so I'm glad to be back.
Yep, no doubt, man. Appreciate you joining us. I just thought it was going to be a phone conversation, too, so thank you for driving over here and meeting us in person, man. So season's just kicking off. 2 games into it, right?
Yep, we've been on the road the first 2 weeks. We have a bye this week, and then a week from yesterday.
Okay.
So Friday, March 28th, we're returning to the new Joe.
Okay. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a beautiful stadium. You can put it anywhere in the country, it'd be beautiful.
So before we get into soccer, I just want to talk to you a little bit about your background. So, you were obviously the former CEO of the Huntsville or downtown Huntsville project.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So you obviously left them in good hands and got them started off doing wonderful things for sure. Now, Clint, the man graduated from Tennessee.
Go Vols.
So but before that, you got a BA.
My son actually graduated from Alabama, so I'm a little divided. And I've got 2 sons at Auburn, so it's very confusing.
You got a BA in political science and government from Lipscomb, and then a doctorate. So you're a doctor?
Well, when you get a law degree, it's called a Juris Doctorate.
Okay, well, hey,
I'll take
doctor.
it. Paid a lot of money, so I'll call it
law degree in intellectual property law. So, wow. And now you've taken all of that talent and putting it into soccer. And they are blessed, it sounds like to me, to have you to be able to manage all those operations.
Yeah, I like to say I'm a recovering attorney. So, but I use a lot of the stuff from that career.
I'm sure.
Thinking analytically, but it's been a great journey. And I look at a lot of young folks will come and just ask about how you ended up there. And I was like, well, just never look at a door that's partly open as not one to investigate. So.
Well, then, obviously your talent lies in creating and building and, producing new things.
Yeah.
And you've been with the Huntsville City Football Club since its inception, right?
Yeah, I was the first employee in September of 2022.
Okay.
So
you basically helped get them right off the ground and just done wonderful things. And this was the 5th year?
This is our 3rd season.
I don't know.
Feels like it's been forever. I've aged that long.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, that's a big task, no doubt. So, and you're going to have to correct me on some of this if it's wrong, because who knows, but 28-game schedule, thereabout, it seems like. Goes through the first week in October, and then 29 clubs this year. Does that sound about right?
Yep, 29 MLS Next Pro clubs, and we have 14 home matches, so it's big as half and half.
Okay. So you got groups, right? Group A and B. Y'all are Group A.
We are the Eastern Conference, I guess.
Okay. So do y'all play everybody in that group twice, or I mean, how's that set up?
Most of them. The league does a good job trying to reduce travel costs.
Right.
So, like, we play Atlanta a couple of times. We play Chattanooga a couple of times. We play, actually, Cincinnati's remarkably close. People don't think of it that way, but it's actually a closer drive than Charlotte. So we play a lot of the southeastern teams, but we also go to Toronto and New England and down to Miami. So it's good for the squad to experience, professional travel and everything that comes with it, eating well, sleeping well, traveling to big airports.
So, and then what's your affiliation with the Nashville organization?
Yes, so we are wholly owned by Nashville Soccer Club. So the ownership structure there is our ownership structure. It's a little bit different than, say, a minor league baseball affiliation where there's an agreement, but the Angels have a separate ownership than the Pan does. We're actually under all the same umbrella.
Oh, is that common for soccer or any? I don't know that I've ever heard that before.
For this league, it's common to have your second team in your same city. So Orlando City's second team is in Orlando, a different stadium, but it's called Orlando City B, or Atlanta United 2. So what we've done is really innovative, is take your second team and move it about 90 miles away.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you're still
spread
close
it out.
enough. Yeah, you're close enough to get back to the first team if you need, but also we have our own brand here for North Alabama.
Okay. So, silly question, I guess, but I mean, is there any interaction between the teams as far as, like, hey, man, not that it's a call-up, it's just a swap. Like, y'all ever swap players in and out? Okay.
Yep, they're allowed to. So some of our players are actually on their contracts and trying to get playing time here. But also they're allowed call-ups. It's like in baseball, you get a certain number of call-ups a year, and they'll go up and play for a couple of games, and then they get that experience. Even if they don't get that experience playing, they're on the bench in James Park, and they're like, okay, this is what I aspire to get to. So
that makes sense.
Can they get called up at any time?
There's a limited, I think they can get called up 4 times a year, so it's kind of a strategic amount how many times you bring them up. But, you've seen several of our players actually play during a game in Nashville.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Now, is there a cutoff date, like towards the end of the season?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know all. I'd have to talk to our soccer ops guy, Matt Cairns. I don't know all the timing, but I do know there is a cutoff. At some point, you have to finalize your roster for the first team for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Our season ends before their season ends, so there's a little bit of overlap. But the reality is, I think this year some of our players we've signed are some of the best we've ever signed. I think we have several of the best players in the entire league, and so it's going to be really fun to watch. As much as our Huntsville fans love to see these players, if they do as well as they should, I hope they get called up. I hope they get promoted.
Yeah.
So
and that only shows what y'all are doing as an organization too, right? I mean, it's obviously you want to keep them so you can win games, but at the same time, it shows the league and the upper leagues. Hey man, Huntsville's doing something right, and they've got these players, and it keeps more eyeballs on you.
Well, it's a funny story. So we had a player last year named Forrester Ajago. He was a striker, very popular. He was just a really dynamic player. He ended up moving over to Salt Lake City's MLS team, and now he's playing there. So it's funny. You'll see some of our fans following Real Salt Lake City because they loved Forrester, and they're following their fans. And so that's a great way you see these guys. A lot of them are, I said kids. I mean, they're usually less than 24 or so.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, it is so hard to get into professional soccer, just like any professional sport. And they're just grinding it out, pursuing their dream. And so it's fun to follow them, even if they go a different direction.
Yeah. And, you bring up talking about fans. Soccer fandom's at a different level. Maybe not here in the States. Obviously, internationally it is. But it's grown here to the point where they're really fanatic, aren't they?
Yeah, it's getting to be, I think, especially with the World Cup coming back to the States next year. We have a thing called the supporters group, and they're called the Huntsvillains. And they bang the drums, and they have their blue smoke and their flags, and they're super fans. I mean, they would probably be Anywhere you go, I mean, maybe other than SEC football, you just see they're as passionate as they get about their team.
Oh, yeah. They get fired up. You haven't had any brawls in the stands yet, like, some of how they do in other countries.
No.
And hopefully that'll never happen.
It's like they're intense, but they're one of the visiting coaches says he loves to bring his players to our stadium because most of the stadiums they go to are, there may be 100, 200 fans. We have 5,000.
Yeah.
And they're yelling at the players, and he's like, that's good for the players, these 19-year-olds, to get used to, a pretty rowdy environment. But I say we're rowdy, but we're respectful.
Yeah, right. And you can be both.
Yeah.
You can be both.
Well, now, the Havoc has had so many sellouts. What would a sellout be there at Joe Davis?
It's right around 5,000. Yeah. We have room for standing room only, so there's a big plaza there. But, once we get to about 5,000, 5,500, that's a sellout.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't yet been able to attend the game, but I have driven by there when games are going on. And you glance over there, and you're like, holy smoke, that place is packed.
Send me an email. I want to get you all tickets. Come as our guests.
Somebody'd have to hold my hand and tell me. I mean, I know a little bit of the rules, but not all of the rules. But I still haven't learned them in hockey either. So
the cool thing about soccer is the clock never stops.
Yeah.
Kickoff, 45 minutes. There's no timeouts, no dead balls. It's just 45 minutes later, 15-minute halftime, 40. So the game starts at 7. You'll be leaving at 9:15 no matter what.
Yeah.
So people like that, especially the young folks who have maybe shorter attention spans.
Yeah.
They like that there's no time.
You know what? Yeah. You bring up a great point on that because that is kind of the world we live in right now. And that's Major League Baseball had to go to a pitch clock because of that very thing. People were not coming because they didn't want to sit there for 4.5 hours to watch a sporting event. Because their attention spans.
Well, you may have a shootout though too.
Yeah, and those it's tied at the end of the game. Those are fun. They do a shootout, but even those usually take no more than 10 minutes. The league's really good about expediting things. In fact, there's a big defense contractor in town. Their HR person was trying to schedule a company event, and she reached out, and I just said, hey, thanks for thinking of us. Why'd you think of us? She's like, because I know when I'm leaving. Because she's the last person out of the event, and she's like, oh, I know at 9:15 I'm heading home. So I was like, hey, whatever it takes to get fans in the country.
Exactly. So, like we talked about 2 games into it, and you talked to, obviously what you do is not involvement in the everyday operations of the team itself, but, I mean, you feeling pretty good about the potential success? I know last year was a struggle, but, still, this is still a young, organization and team, so.
Now, I think this year, every year you think it's your best roster, but I think this is, empirically our best roster. I mean, we went up to Chicago, their very first game of the year, and won 4-1 on the road, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then went to Chattanooga. We lost, but we controlled the ball almost all the game. It was just a kind of a fluke situation. So, we think that we have, like I said, some of the best players of all different positions. But the thing we also say about coming to our games is, we have concerts at halftime. We have games at halftime. So even if you have no idea what offsides is, we have a lot of entertainment.
You have entertainment.
We have an actual rocket engine. No joke. A NASA rocket engine that at kickoff we used CO2 when we simulate a launch.
That's game. Awesome.
So that's cool.
Those are the kind of things you have to do nowadays to be able to, to draw in families and kids and,
Most people ask is like, who's your competitor? I said, the movie theater. Dave & Buster's, Top Golf. I mean, if a family's going to go out or friends are going to go out on a Friday night to be entertained, we need to be an option for them.
Yeah.
And so it's more than the sporting event. It's also what's the entertainment of the beer garden. They can enjoy a mini concert at halftime and things like that.
Yeah. Well, and then, you get this time of year with Trash Panda starting up, the Havoc winding down. Y'all are starting up, so you're also competing against other, sporting events as well on top of just the everyday, like you said, movies, Top Golf, and Dave & Buster's and all those other type family things too. So,
well, and let me mention on that real quick. What's cool is that the Havoc, us and the Pandas, we all collaborate really well. I'll call up Garrett or I'll call up the team at the Havoc and say, hey, how's this going? And so while there is, you're right, some competition for guests, I'd like to say we share our guests.
Yeah.
Share our fans, because I think that all 3 of the experiences are really great entertainment experiences.
Yeah.
So,
well, and the cool thing is, too, about them, they're all different.
Yep.
Not just from an athletic standpoint, but what they do, what y'all provide, and those type things. But,
well, and I think the Havoc has a Huntsville sports night where all 3 of them were kind of a part of. Did you go through... Was it last year you went through a coaching change?
Yes, we have a new coach. Chris O'Neill came from Inter Miami too.
Okay.
Or their program, Inter Miami. And he I think he started like in August, but this is his first full season, and he's got a couple other coaches with him, and so we're really positive. He's has just a really good mind for soccer. He's a good motivator of people, but also his X's and O's are really strong. And so soccer is surprising, even though there's not a lot of dead balls. There's a lot of X's and O's going on in real time, and that's what Chris is really good at. Yeah.
I've always been intrigued in what, when you do watch it, it's like, how do you relay all the different things that you want to change and stuff while everybody's running up and down, like it's not
multitasking.
At its best, without a doubt. But the game, like growing up, did you grow up here by chance? Or?
No, I grew up in Detroit, actually.
Okay. I know you didn't talk like us, or like me.
I've been here since I was 18, though.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. But growing up, like me and Tim, Coach Legg, soccer wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even have youth soccer, did we, Tim? That I recall.
I don't know.
If we did,
I don't think so.
It was two little teams with maybe a few 8-year-olds out there running around. So to see the explosion of it through the years, and then now y'all coming out, man, I know all these high school teams love it, so they can go over there and bring their teams, and that's just to aspire a high school player to be able to even get to the Oz level is that's a big deal.
Yeah, we have a really good soccer ecosystem, we call it, and it's cool. We were talking about earlier. Calhoun's starting a soccer program. UAH has a great program. A&M has a great women's program. So soccer is strong in North Alabama.
Absolutely. Well, Chad, man, thanks so much for coming in and joining us. We appreciate it, and we'll definitely be keeping up with you throughout the year, and hopefully have you back on.
Okay.
To keep up with what's going on with the Huntsville City Football Club, and wish y'all nothing but luck. And we'll try to get over and watch a game soon, man.
Anything that gives me a reason to come to beautiful Athens, I'm good for.
Well, all right, man. We'll have you anytime. That was Chad Emerson, Managing Director of Business Operations for the Huntsville City Football Club. When we come back, we'll be having a Tanner head soccer coach, Matt Smith, and maybe some of his players. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big 1080.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens. Your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
What is community? I am First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Hadley Madison from East Limestone High School. And to me, community is supporting those who connect us. First National Bank proudly supports our neighbors, businesses, schools, and organizations that make Limestone County a great place to live and to work. First National Bank, making communities great. Member FDIC.
Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Join us this spring for James Clemens Baseball and Softball from Play Action Sports. Hear action from the Jets and Lady Jets online at PASnetwork.net, on your PAS Plus app, or on your Alexa device by saying Open PAS Plus. If you miss it, you can also catch up on the online archives and hear select games Sundays at noon on WKAC Radio. James Clemens Baseball and Softball this season from Play Action Sports and 1080 WKAC.
This is Michael Dornay, former Big Out at the University of Alabama. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Roll Tide.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk here on WKC, the Big 1080. Todd the Talent Tomberlin alongside producer extraordinary Tim Lambert. The coach, Clint Legg, joined with us now. He's the head men's soccer coach at Tanner and also the men's football coach, I guess. Matt Smith. Coach, man, thanks for joining us.
Man, I appreciate it.
supposed to be on last week, but had an incident with my shoulder. I'm gonna have to have another shoulder surgery.
So
I ain't as young as I used to be.
I was gonna say, bless your heart, you've had a rough year this year. Kidney stones and shoulder injuries, and I'm right there with you on the shoulder. So
I think he was showing off, trying to do some weightlifting there.
Yeah. I can't do 400 no more. I'm gonna throw that out the back door.
Man, oh man. So well into soccer season right now. How's it going?
Well, we just won the fifth straight Limestone County tournament last night.
Guys.
Appreciate it. I've got senior captains with us, Irvin Gonzalez, I got Mason Moore. Irvin plays midfield for us. Mason plays center back. I've got Carlos Lagunas, he's a junior. And then I've got his little brother, Ivan, and he is a 7th grader.
I was going to say, he looks like a youngin'.
Hey, but he plays mighty because he plays varsity for us. So him and Randy are the only two that's ever played varsity for us as 7th graders.
Wow.
But he does a great job.
You should be proud of yourself for that, man. So tell us a little bit about your season, what position you play, and all that.
That's okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm proud.
You
I'm
should
proud
be.
to play with varsity.
So 7th grader, man. So you got a lot of years ahead of you too. What's it like playing with your brother?
He doesn't play.
Oh, he doesn't play.
I've got 2 sideline this year. I've got Carlos is sideline and Justin Marino sideline. Both of those were starters for us last year, but injuries and stuff put them on.
I hate that guy.
Yeah. They're out for the rest of the year. Justin tore his ACL preseason. Playing Randolph, so he's in recovery right now, and Carlos has been sidelined with injury, so we look to get them back next year, and we'll plug them right back in the starting lineup and keep it rolling.
Matt, who did y'all play in the championship game? And Todd, Tim, it's not the county tournament, it's the Tanner Invitation.
Really? At this point it is. That's the truth.
So who did y'all play in the championship?
We played East Limestone.
I got you.
It was a good match.
Mason pretty fired up about that one.
Yeah, he was. We got him in the rezoning. That's one of the best things that ever happened to us.
That's right.
Hey, he came in. He anchored that center back spot for us, and man, he saved a bunch of goals for us last night. They are a good team, great team. They got good communication, good skills over there. It was 2-2 notched up going into PKs, and actually, it was, 2 bangers in that game? And East Limestone had a boy that put one in from about 20 yards out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice. Hit front post and went in. And then Randy Cortez, our striker, he hit one from about 30 yards out.
Sweet.
And it was a banger. And then Ray Leon, another senior, he got a header off of a corner. And then who scored their other goal for East?
It was their striker.
Yeah, the other striker, he scored. So it's tied 2-2 going into after regulation. We went to PKs, and man, I tell you, this dude right here, the 7th grader, he, knocking on wood, he ain't missed a PK yet. He got nervous still. So we started. He actually hit the PK against Ardmore to send us to send it to the kickoff, the PKs. But
how many PKs are there?
5.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So it's 5 shots, and then hopefully, and what happens after that if it's
locked up 5, 5-5, 3-3, whatever, then you go to your next. It just goes in.
Just stays at 5?
No, it just keeps on going.
Oh, okay. Until somebody breaks.
Right, until somebody breaks it. So last night, Kevin Gutierrez was our first taker. He made his. And then Alvin went second. Alex went third. Kay Dornan went fourth. And then Oswaldo, another senior of mine, he closed it out. But the reason he was able to close it out is because Christian Perez, Matt Fletcher's been our goalie, the last, 5-6 matches, 3 weeks, something like that. So Christian Perez was our starting goalie at the beginning of the year, dislocated his shoulder. He's coming back off of injury. And so we switched them last night. Matt started the game and played the whole game, but Christian's a little bit quicker on his feet when it comes to PK, so we switched goalies, put him in, and it worked out for us because he got one of the saves that won us the game.
That's awesome.
Well, I started saying, and y'all you had to go to PKs in the semifinals.
We did against Armagh.
Wow.
Yep. And we made it that we did. Our 5 made it, their 5 made it, or however it was tied up, and then we went to the next 2 because I think we beat them 7-6 in PKs.
Yeah.
So the next 2 was Kay Dornan. Kay Dornan finished it off that night. Who took it before him?
It was Alex.
Alex Martinez tied us up, and Kay Dornan put us over to win it. So
That's awesome.
to send it to the finals.
How when you're doing a PK, how far out? How many yards is it from the goal when you're?
It's 12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was tied. I didn't know how tied.
Yeah. And it's
no wonder it's hard to stop.
Man, it's nerve wracking too.
I'm sure it's got to be nerve wracking for y'all guys, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, for a fan though, oh man, that's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
We're not the ones out there with pressure on us.
It's all kind of videos out there, boy. I think everybody in Tanner took a video of the PKs last night.
Sure. So, what grade are you in now?
I'm a senior.
Okay, so man, last year.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about playing the game, or do you have a favorite part?
Well, basically playing with all my teammates.
Yeah.
That's
just being part of it, man.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Man, this dude right here has come a long way, guys. Like when he first came to us, and I remember him being out there as a 10th grader complaining about the ground not being level. That's why he wasn't playing good. And I was like, you're a Tanner now, big dog. we play on uneven ground. So
yeah,
you get
I was gonna say you're in Limestone County. It's not gonna be plush probably.
So he works his tail off. This dude runs 5-6 miles a day.
Awesome.
I mean, he busts his butt. He trains and got a starting spot last year. And was in the rotation with all year, and he's back in the starting spot this year. So we're looking to make it back to the Final Four this year.
So, when y'all tell us what it's like to play for Coach Smith.
I start to say, pass the mic around here, so
let one of them guys tell us what it's like.
We got to kind of share here.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Just what's it like playing for Coach Smith? Obviously, when y'all run up on a team, especially a team y'all neve never played, they're like, "Oh my God!"
And this is who? This is who?
What's your name?
My name is Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Yeah, I mean, because I know he makes you work, right, guys? No doubt. That's because we know Coach Smith from football and soccer, and that working's going to be number one. But because I just can't imagine playing for Coach Smith because you're so relatable to all the players. You know what I mean? You just are, and you cut up, but at the same time, y'all know when he's serious too, right?
Yes. Oh yes.
Y'all know that line, right? Okay.
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, so tell us about your year. How you feel like you're playing and the team's playing.
It's been great, and it's an honor to play for Coach Mann to be our coach.
Yeah.
And he puts us. We work hard, every practice, every day, We just try to win, and that's about it.
No better feeling, is it?
Yeah.
What about you, buddy? Why don't you tell everybody your name?
Pass the mic over there. His mic's not hooked up. So.
I'm actually glad to have a coach like him. He makes sure we work hard every day, and when we make goals, he's more hyped than anybody. So it's amazing.
That is awesome.
Yours is working.
It's an honor to have Coach Matt being my coach because he always motivate us and all the team, and he touch sometimes our heart on the time we play. Yeah. That's a victory.
Yep. You're good. I mean, you are, man. You touched a lot of folks through the years, man, and sent a lot of good kids on to college that may not have the opportunity to do otherwise.
Man, it's a blessing playing, coaching for these guys. These guys playing for me is, man, the work ethic is undeniable. They're some of the hardest workers in school. Even on days that I tell them take off, we need a break, they're still gonna be out there kicking around. They love the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the love of the game, man, guys. Yeah.
They might not be out there doing fundamental drills or something, but they're gonna go and they're gonna work on their free kicks, or they're gonna work on their PKs, or they're gonna work on some passing drills or something. They might, they get together, and that's the, Urban will tell you that I'm big on senior leadership. I'm huge on senior leadership. So if the seniors call a meeting, that's that's
same as you.
Same as me.
Yeah.
They call practice. That's same as me. If they say, "Hey, this is what we're doing," that the team follows that because I've instilled it so much that hey, these guys are an extension of the coaching staff. You know, they get to pick what uniform we wear on match nights. They get to pick, you know, who's the captains throughout the week. Who's been captain. All of our seniors are the captains. We rotate.
Yeah.
So I lean on them just as much as they lean on us, on the coaching staff, and the guys know, hey, whatever the seniors say that's what goes.
And I love that coming from you because it shows them a level of respect you have for them, and shows all y'all's hard work. Y'all have earned that opportunity to be able to make those choices. I love that. That's pretty good.
Hey, give that mic back to Mason. Mason, I got a good question for you, man.
Yes.
How long have you been down there at Tanner? How many years?
This is my first year.
Let me ask you something, because Mason was one of my dudes at East when I was at East as an assistant principal. What I mean by one of my dudes, I had dudes that were in trouble all the time, and I had conversationalist guys. Mason was a conversational guy. We'd come in my office, me and him talk. We have a good time. So what's the difference, man? I mean, I'm not asking you to hate on East, but I'm asking you, what is the difference that Tanner has been for you as opposed to being in East Limestone?
When it comes to Tanner, they're more of a family, and they're like always involved with even the whole school with teachers. They're all involved with soccer. Right. So with East, it's like, oh, you're just there. It's just another day. Like y'all are not a family. It's just
there's too many people there.
Yeah,
I started saying bigger school there.
People.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I got something I want to throw at both of you, all you guys. In baseball, the coaches wear baseball uniforms. I think I'm gonna try to get it, buddy. I want Coach Macklin and I want Coach Smith to have to wear y'all soccer uniforms while they're coaching. I think they'd look great in them, and I don't know why they don't wear them to start with.
We can make that happen on senior night.
Oh man, there you go. That's the choice you're gonna make.
I started saying they do get to pick the.
I don't think they make grown man size soccer uniforms.
And socks. Come on,
grown man. You talking about overgrown man?
Hey,
6'8",
400. Dang, I wear a 5XL tee. So, it's gonna be hard to find one of them. Look, that's why I use Athens Athletics so much, because they Bree and all them, they'll go out and find me stuff that fits me. Hey coach, this right here fits you. I was like, okay, well, give me mine and give the team theirs.
That's awesome.
What do you said they get to pick the uniforms? How many uniform combinations have you got?
We got a bunch.
Yeah, it's about 4 or 5.
Oh wow!
Like the Oregon Ducks in football, just throw out anything.
I figured it was green and white.
We've got two different shades. We got green, and then we've got white. That's our base colors. And then our alternatives, we got black with pinstripes. We've got pink, and we've got Kelly green.
Oh, okay.
But I've actually reached out to a couple guys to work on getting us uniforms for next year, because the numbers are going up. So now you can dress. The new rule is you can dress as many as you want to dress in soccer, like football, except playoff times. Playoff, it gets cut off to a 25-man roster. So this year we've had to, 5 or 6 guys are having to wear different colored shorts because we don't have enough uniforms for them all. We got 47 players in the program.
Good grief.
Between awesome. Middle school, JV,
unbelievable,
and
man.
varsity. And so even my JV team, when we play strictly JV, it's maybe, I think we got 25 sets of uniforms. So 25 of them are in the same uniform, and then the other 10 or 8, 9, whatever it is, they're in a green jersey with black shorts, or a white jersey with green shorts. It throws us off.
Yeah. Yep, you definitely need to get some more. That's awesome, though. Those numbers are great. Well, Coach, man, proud of y'all. Proud of all y'all guys. Congratulations on all your success.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
The season's not over. It's just going to get bigger and better. Looking, not putting any pressure on you, but looking for that blue trophy. Come back home again. Y'all gonna have to have your own soccer thing in the basketball lobby or wherever, just to testament to all y'all's hard work over the years. So congratulations, proud of all y'all. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was Tanner head soccer coach Matt Smith, along with some of his players. Man, appreciate them coming in here.
Don't forget about Matt's babysitter Quentin.
Keeping
his son
over there.
That son of his is going to be holding Quentin in about a year and a half.
Before we go, I want to say real quick, before I forget, I meant to say it earlier, April 1st from 4:30 to 6 on the Limestone County Square. We'll be, the month of April is Autism Acceptance Month. We always light up the courthouse blue. We'll have bounce houses, pizza, balloon show, fire truck. Sheriff will have his autism car there, police car. And we're trying to make it a big event. So April 1st, Tuesday night, 4:30 to 6, y'all come out. The mayor, commissioner will be doing a proclamation.
And congratulations to Katie Lynn Kyle of West Limestone. She's our athlete of the week.
All right, congratulations to Katie. So for Todd the Talent, Tom Merlin, producer extraordinary Tim Lambert, the coach, Talent Leg. Thank y'all for listening, and we'll see y'all next week. You're
Roll Tide,
Todd. Roll Tide. Listen to it.
While others have come and gone, the Lion's Den Gym has been roaring as a workout and exercise fixture in Athens, growing from its humble basement beginnings in 1981 to their current 10,000 square foot location at 212 Commercial Drive in Athens. The Lion's Den offers 24/7 access to their ever-expanding equipment collection that includes treadmills and climbers, elliptical trainers, stationary bikes, loose weights and dumbbells, and over 45 different weight machines. Contact the Lion's Den Gym about a membership today at 256-652-2627. Visit them online at lionsdengym.com or on Facebook. The Lions Den Gym, 256-652-2627. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. If your place on the water needs some attention, call BP Riverworks. Boathouses, docks, seawalls, and repairs. Call Barron Pugh at 251-200-2273 or Tracer Pugh at 256-206-7097. BP Riverworks. Licensed and insured 251-200-2273 or 256-206-7097. You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill on Highway 72 East in Athens, just off I-65. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.